isn't going to quit. And the sun is beginning to lighten the sky. So the man says, "Let me go, for the day is breaking." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Something has changed in Jacob. Once it's on, once this wrestling match is underway, in his desperation, he boldly refuses to stop until he gets a blessing out of it. This is the moment where he goes from Jacob the Jipper to the chosen Israel. This is where the scheming, the fear, the flight ends, and the blessings begin. Every good thing is possible, but not without a fight. College professor Jerry Sitzer was with some members of his family. They were traveling together in a minivan. The minivan was struck by a drunk driver, and in a tragedy that's almost beyond belief. He loses 3 generations of his family. His mom dies in the accident, his wife dies in the accident, and his young daughter dies in the accident. And amazingly, Jerry Sitzer himself walks away uninjured. But that fact seems like anything but a blessing. Sitzer wrote a book about what he went through entitled A Grace Disguised. In the book, he tells us that the path to blessing is not around, but through. He writes, "The quickest way for anyone to reach the sun and the light of day is not to run west, chasing after the setting sun, but to head east, plunging into the darkness until one comes to the sunrise." Instead of running west, run east, plunging into the darkness. That doesn't sound right. We want to avoid desperation. We're hoping that the situation will clear itself up. But what if the desperation is a grace disguised? What if fighting your way through the darkness is the path to blessing? The quickest way to the deep down dark may well be to embrace it, to plunge into it, to fight your way through it. Jacob came through the wrestling match with a blessing from God. He was given a new name, right? Instead of deceiver, conniver, grabber, he's named Israel, which means God contends or God strives. It's not a name that was given to Granddad Abraham or to Daddy Isaac. It's uniquely Jacob's name. But Jacob, now Israel, does not escape without a scar. You remember that this man, this angel of the Lord, touched Jacob during the wrestling match on his hip and dislocated Jacob's hip. He would walk with a limp for the rest of his life. And the limp was both a reminder of the struggle and of the blessing that came from it. Now maybe you can think back on the time when you were in the deep down dark. Or maybe you are in the deep down dark now. But if you can think of a time in the past when you were ready to call it quits, but instead of giving up, you turned to God and fought through it. In hindsight, you would never want to go through that again. But you're thankful that you did and that you prevailed. You arrived on the other side, broken, yes, but blessed. If you read on in the narrative, there's this tearful reunion between Jacob and his brother Esau. You have to wonder, if Jacob had humbled himself years earlier, perhaps the family would have reconciled them. Could be 20 years that have gone by. This could have happened so much earlier. If you have the courage to stop running and you decide you're going to fight through the darkness and that you're not going to give up until you reach the other side, you will discover God's power and presence. And that's a pretty awesome blessing right there. But there may be collateral blessings as well. A reconciled relationship, a renewed purpose, a new hope, a new identity. perspective. Because you will be tempted in the deep, dark down. You will be tempted to take on a victim mentality. Maybe there's some area of your life where you assume you can never change. And in that area, instead of taking personal responsibility, you blame others. That area could be your marriage, could be your career, parenting, your financial situation, and addiction. If you're tempted to give up, you're playing the victim. If you find yourself whining and complaining, you are playing the victim. And one of the dangers of whining and complaining is that you're tempted to give up. One prescription for whining and complaining is to realize how much we have to be thankful for. There's this tendency in our culture to fixate on what we don't have. Right? Advertisers help us with this because they want us to buy something we don't have, thinking that, yeah, it's all going to be great. So we fixate on what we don't have. Social media can have this effect. Have you ever noticed, like on Facebook, people only post the really happy stuff in their lives, you know? So it's very tempting to think, well, I want to go to Europe, or I want my kids to be as happy and as well adjusted as those kids. You know, I think we should just go down this road like the grass is greener on the other side. You know it's not, but boy, it feels like it. But if we can be thankful for what we have, count the blessings we have and be thankful, this will go a long way to keeping us out of that whining and complaining. And hey, if you have nothing else, you have or can have what this table represents. A relationship with God through Jesus Christ. A God whose love for you is incredible. Keep perspective. Have faith. Don't give up. Those 33 miners, they did not give up. They did not give up hope. They wrestled down their fears. They engaged God, held on to God. Lord, rescue us. It's like a constant prayer with them. And on day 17, a drilling bit bored into the space in which they were trapped. Now, it would not be until day 69 that they were winched to the surface one at a time in this specially built capsule. Some of you will remember this because this event was live streamed. It was big news. 69 days. 5 million people watched them be rescued. People have been rooting for them, praying for them over 2 months. The Bible talks about the great cloud of witnesses. In a sense, even 5 million people was a great cloud of witnesses. And now the 33 were rescued. The same will be true for us if we don't give up. Now, if you have doubts about this, bring those doubts to this table, the table that is set before us. Bring your doubts to the meal that we're about to share. May you be reminded of the cost to the rescuer. This is God who loves you so much that he gave his only son. He is not going to leave you to perish in the deep down dark. May the light of that love overcome the darkness of your doubt. Yeah, you may find yourself in the deep down dark for a while longer. But remember, your Savior has punched through into the darkness. You are not alone. He is with you. Now, grab hold and don't let go. Don't let go until you receive the blessing. Don't give up.